being the people who radiate a lot of positive energy, probably positive energy producers. We should call them, and some of them are like they are consumers of a lot of energy.
Sucker for energy.
For a better word, consumers. So, what I feel is when you're around such people who are like energy producers, they have that inherent charm on their face. They carry that aura, and that aura is very much what is the word? That aura is very attractive, you can say, wherein just being around them gives you a lot of peace.
It gives you a feel good factor.
Yeah, a lot of peace. It gives you another grade of happiness just being around them.
Yeah.
And not necessarily they have to be monks or someone. You can find them around us.
Hello guys. Hi Murtaza. Hi Ritesh.
Neha.
Hello.
So, thank you for joining and listening to the podcast again. A lot of you who heard our podcast in our first podcast, in the last podcast about beauty, have asked us, have written to us, and they have asked us to introduce ourselves more than just Neha, Murtaza and Ritesh. So, Ritesh, in 30 seconds, would you like to just tell us who you are as a person and what you do?
So I'm an engineer by profession, and personally looking at me, I'm just an explorer. I have yet to figure out a lot of questions in my life, which I'm pondering to, one of which is going to be through this podcast, of course. So that's me.
Okay, thanks.
Great. So my name is Murtaza, and I myself am also an engineer. Coincidentally, Ritesh. And I'm into manufacturing of acrylic products, and as a person, I think I am still evolving. So a lot of things to come ahead.
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Neha, and I'm a rebellion by birth. I have always, since the time I remember, questioned the norms of the society. And sometimes things were answered, some things I learned gradually. And by profession, I'm into marketing. And I've done all forms of marketing much before the Facebook and Insta era. I started my career at the age of 17. And it's been a great journey so far. And every day is a learning. Every single day is a learning.
I completely agree with that.
Yeah. So I think as far as learning is concerned, all three of us are open to learning.
Yes.
Yes.
And we are still evolving in our journey.
Yes.
And I think
That's
that's
very important.
yeah, and that's a very good and common point between us. We are on different legs of our journey, but saying that we are still learning and we are open to learning. So, since we're talking about learning and the ever evolving journey that we have taken, last podcast, guys, we had spoken about beauty and what beauty means to each of us, and how our perspectives are different, but at the core it is the same, somewhere. Now, our podcast is known as Beauty Beyond Boundaries. Since last podcast we spoke about beauty, let's speak about the boundaries part of it, and to set context to it, like if you go down 100 years back or even go down to 2 generations back, our grandmothers and great grandmothers, that era. So growing up, I have always heard that your grandmother is very beautiful, or my grandma or my masis, they have shared that to grow long hair, we use this oil or we use this herb or so on and so forth. So in that time, beauty was limited to only the female population.
Yeah, nobody must have said that your grandfather looks beautiful. or
Beautiful,
handsome.
correct,
Yeah.
correct. Or is
Yeah.
a beautiful person. I have never heard that.
Yeah.
So that means that in those days there were certain boundaries, in the society. What about today? But in this day and age, 50, 60 years after that time has passed when we were not even born, and do you think the society has evolved? Has beauty, the concept of beauty, gone beyond all the boundaries? Has it really broken all the barriers? Is it now limited to a certain gender, or does every living being consist of something beautiful? Like Ritesh, you said last time that a plant can also be beautiful, or something that you look at
Yeah.
can also be beautiful, or something that you experience can also be beautiful.
Hmm.
So has beauty transcended all the norms?
Yeah, I
All the
feel,
boundaries?
I feel yes, that, beauty has evolved as a thing. As you said that, it was only the ladies or the female gender who used to dress up or probably, apply hair oil or stuff like that. I think it has evolved now. I think it has broken all the boundaries now. In today's world, I feel, everybody has the right to be beautiful, look beautiful. Even if it doesn't, it's not, limited to any gender now. Even the males, all other communities can also look beautiful. So I think in that respect, even I see guys applying makeup. I see guys, going for manicure, pedicure.
Hmm.
So those are things which I think have, very recently or probably few years back, people have started, seeing this as, keeping a beauty factor in their mind. They're like, yes, we have to do this. We want to do this. We want
Sure.
to look good.
Yeah.
So I think it has broken those kind of barriers. That's what I feel. What do you feel, Ritesh?
My thoughts on this topic is actually quite limited. What I think is the perception of people towards the limitations of beauty is in the form of gradients. It's not like a binary thing that, okay, at this point of time it was limited and suddenly within couple of years it became unlimited or boundless. I feel still there are a lot of places wherein we see that we don't have any boundaries on beauty, and in some places we do have boundaries, but there are a lot of places wherein certain parameters of beauty are under the boundary and certain parameters are not under the
Beyond.
boundary. Although my thoughts are kind of very vague right now, but what I feel is it's not a binary thing. It's not a switch that has got on. It's a gradient that is still under progress. Some societies are having certain parameter of boundary to it still, I feel. For example, there are still people who are yet to accept the standards of beauty which we have set, which used to be set for women, that नहीं यार अभी भी मतलब लड़का है तो he has to be handsome and not beautiful. बहुत सारे लोग अभी भी exist करते हैं, including millennials. ज़रूरी नहीं है that okay, a 40-year-old guy might have this thought. At the same time, I have seen a lot of 40-50-year-old people. One of our friend also has that thought that लड़कों को भी मतलब they should take care of themselves, should wear, even I wear hair bands all the time. So some of the people are still objecting, अरे ये hair band थोड़ी ना लड़कों का होता है, हाँ?
Yeah.
बट कुछ लोग होते हैं कि या यू आर मैनेजिंग योर हेयर प्रॉपरली, ऐसा. तो आई फील दैट कि बहुत ज़्यादा बाउंड्री अभी भी है. वी माइट थिंक दैट वी हैव इवॉल्व्ड एज अ सोसाइटी कि भाई 21st century है एंड देन यू हैव गॉट फ्रीडम एंड देन एवरीबडी इज ओपन माइंडेड एंड दिस एंड दैट, बट दिस इज़ वेरी मच सेंट्रिक टू आवर ओन स्मॉल बबल दैट वी लिव इन, जहाँ पे हम लाइक माइंडेड लोगों के साथ बात करते हैं, एंड देन वी फील दैट दैट्स हाउ द वर्ल्ड इज मूविंग टूवर्ड्स. But there are a lot of other bubbles which are existing in the world. जिनके thoughts are not matching with us. So what I feel is, in the ideal world, of course, the definition of beauty should be without bounds. Of course, when I say bounds, what I mean is the gender boundary. What I mean is even the physical boundary. I mean, not physical as in, I mean, when in the previous podcast that we have discussed, that we see someone as beautiful, that specific thing can be not just human, but we can see, plants also are beautiful, insect is also beautiful. Even those standards, आजकल if you see, उसमें भी काफ़ी मतलब boundaries है नहीं है ऐसे, मतलब lot of bubbles out there, and what we are seeing is from a small bubble perspective. Yeah, I think still a lot, like probably more than 70-80% boundaries है.
Okay. I think I have a little different view on this. I got the chance to work with the LGBTQI community very, very closely, and I had a very, very close interaction. And before 377 was passed, the world was very different for them.
Correct.
Now, when we talk about boundaries, see, there are a few different perspectives to it. In the last podcast, we spoke that beauty, at different ages means different things. As we evolve as people, as human beings, beauty means different things to all of us. And
Absolutely.
We all have a different perspective. At the end of the day, you want to deal with people who are beautiful inside out, rather than only the surface.
Correct.
Right? So when you think of that, when I look at somebody who is beautiful, I am not looking at a gender. I am to feeling the energy, I am feeling the vibe, and I am looking into their eyes to see if they are trying to hide things or they are open, irrespective of their gender choice. And of course that is very, very personal, and we cannot judge people because we are human beings ourselves. So how can one human being judge the other? Now, having come back from Europe, specifically from London, after 17 years back to India, I feel here everybody is judging each other all the time, and I think that is what creates the boundaries. Because everybody is judging everybody. Even if say, like Murtaza said, many people go for manicure, pedicure. Somebody who doesn't go might be judging the people who go.
Absolutely. That does happen.
It does happen because you haven't been, but that's a very personal choice. And I think beauty is beyond any boundaries, and we as a society, need to just accept it. Individual choices, there are some individual choices. Same way, our orientation is an individual choice. A person with any orientation choice, whatever their choice they would have made, can still be beautiful. Why does it has to only belong and be the right of certain sect of the society? Sometimes when you are traveling on the road and you look out, I do, because I want to feel people around me. I want to feel what's happening in the traffic. I look at people and I think, oh, this person must be going home to his children, or this particular auto guy must be working so hard whole day for that 10, 20, 50 sawaris, so that he can raise his children, give them good education. So I think it depends also how beautiful we are from within to accept what is outside and around us. That is, so I have been an advocate of not judging people, and I feel if we have an open mind and evolve as a society and not judge people by their gender choices or which gender they belong to, I think we'll make a much, much better world.
True.
And
Yes.
the day we stop judging,
which is really
That
very
day.
difficult, for
that
people.
day, that day, beauty will really be beyond any boundaries.
Yes.
Because we're not judging people.
I think, what do you think, how much role does our perception of boundaries for beauty, spirituality is playing in the whole perception?
A lot. A big role.
Hmm?
Because to not judge anybody is the most difficult thing.
You need a level of spirituality
Yeah.
in you to not judge people.
Yes.
I think yes, it plays a major role.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
as
आम
she
जनता
said-
तो हर दूसरे को
हाँ,
जज करती
judge
रहती
करती
है.
रहती है. And as she said, when you're beautiful from within, there are certain things that you feel naturally, and you do things that way. So I think if you're good within, and if you're happy from within, you'll probably see everybody as beautiful.
Yeah.
So, have you guys so right now we are at a phase wherein, as I said previously, that our perception and our maturity of beauty, the perception towards the beauty keeps on changing with the maturity that we get. Was it always like this, or was it a point in your life wherein you got converted into this perception?
So I have a very funny story about it.
Mm-hmm.
Till I was around 11 years old,
Mm.
my father was in the Air Force and he would travel quite a lot. And every time he came back from somewhere, he would get some gifts for my mom.
Mm.
It was something that he did for her. And I loved that fact that he did. So, and of course they were young. So, my mom had lipsticks and she had a kajal pencil and she had powder. Whenever she was not around, I would sit for hours and hours and hours and thopo whatever products wherever I could understand. And to a point that when I used to apply lipstick, I would talk like this. Okay, theek hai. Because I used to feel that if I join my lips together. So yes, that stage was also there. But then I visited a particular ashram with my parents. And there, it was a huge ceiling. I think the height of that particular ceiling was like 40 feet. And they were just chanting Om. During the entire prayer, there was nothing. They were just chanting Om. I was 12 then. I didn't want to walk away from there. I wanted to become a sadhu. And I thought that was the most beautiful thing I have ever witnessed. Everybody wearing white and chanting Om in the same tune and in unison. I still have that vision in front of me, as clear, and I think that changed a lot of things in me. It changed a lot of things. It changed my perception of beauty. It changed me as a person. I didn't want to walk away from there. I told my parents that this is my way of life. I have to become a sadhu. I didn't know at that point of time what a she sadhu is called.
Sadhvi.
Yeah, okay, now I know.
So now that you know that you can
Yeah,
go on
sadhvi.
that
So I
voyage.
wanted to become a sadhvi at the age of 12. I always felt that, the world is not a place for me because I found things very complicated.
You still do.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're
all
right.
the time.
I still do. I don't understand complications. I am simple and straight, and that's what I understand. So, I think that changed my whole perception of beauty. After that, I don't remember indulging. I was brought away from there. My mom scared me that ek ladki and so many sadhus are there. which was a very wrong thought, by the way, and I don't agree with it. And I know she just did it as a mother. No offense. But, I walked away from there with my parents and I came home and I completed my studies and got into the world as any normal child would. But from there, I think my perception of beauty or the concept of beauty changed. Because what I saw was people in white without any makeup on, without anything outwardly on. But each of their faces and their eyes were glowing. And I think that is the first time I felt pure energy. So that is where I started feeling people. I started feeling energy after that.
What do you think, Murtaza bhai? You have been into any such situations wherein you feel strongly about that beauty is beyond boundaries? ऐसा कोई incident?
ऐसा कुछ हुआ तो नहीं है मेरे साथ. Neha is the person to have such kind of experiences, but ऐसा कुछ हुआ नहीं है जहाँ पे
spirituality वाले कोई experience?
Spirituality वाला भी ऐसा कोई experience नहीं. But yes, as I earlier said, that I see beauty beyond boundaries. Like for me at this point of time, I agree with you again. That 70% of people are still living in a bubble, and they don't see beauty as a right to everyone. But it's evolving. I'm sure it's going to evolve all the more, and you'll see everybody taking care of themselves. At least externally, that's what's happening. Internally, still, I think it's a long way when people realize that they need to find answers from within. Look into what kind of person they are. To experience that beauty from within. So I think that would take a long time. But external beauty is happening. External people taking care of themselves is happening. Yeah. At least in the metros, I see that.
I think I can relate to what Neha said regarding the Om chanting. I had such a beautiful experience, I think 3-4 years back. We went to North, and there we were just monkeying around. All of our friends were chilling around, and there were a group of monks who were going, and all these monks, they had their head shaved, and they were bald, and these monks were looking so charming, looking very beautiful. When you see them, they were radiating energy.
Yeah.
And that was the point. I was like, "Arey, chal, jaake, let's just say hi to these monks." So there were like 5-7 of them, and ऐसे नहीं, मतलब they were cool monks. Okay, सारे monks मतलब ऐसे नहीं कि they were wearing nice sneakers, but वो परिधान किया था their clothes and all that. So I went to them, me with my friend. Then I said Namo Buddhaya, and then they also reciprocated. And then I asked them, "How are you doing?" and this that. And then asked them, I want a pic with you. So then I took a pic, and that has been one of the best pics that I have, because that smile that I have in that face,
yes,
it's a good batti si wali smile.
It's a very genuine smile, because they're so happy from within. They are very peaceful, calm from within.
In fact, what I feel is the people, there are majorly two kinds of people. One being the people who radiate a lot of positive energy, probably positive energy producers, we should call them. And some of them are like, they are consumers of a lot of energy.
Sucker for energy.
For a better word, consumers. So what I feel is when you're around such people who are like energy producers, they have that inherent charm on their face. They carry that aura, and that aura is very much, what is the word? That aura is very attractive, you can say, wherein just being around them gives you a lot of peace.
It gives you a feel good factor.
Yeah, a lot of peace. It gives you another grade of happiness just being around them.
Yeah.
And not necessarily they have to be monks or someone. You can find them around us. you can that one person who walks into the classroom, who walks into the meeting, and suddenly the meeting, the energy gets pumped up.
Yeah.
I think such people should be treasured, because without saying even a single word, without having a great communication with someone, they are still pumping a lot of energy, positivity.
Yeah.
And in today's world, wherein we have a lot of everything on our palms, hyper intensive, hyper frequent videos that we are seeing, a lot of people are seeing a lot of depressing stuff on a lot of people are judging each other and all that. Such kind of positive energy is really beautiful.
Yeah.
And probably that's what I said. I can relate to what you said, and I think I keep on having such experiences which might take me to that place wherein I will also feel that beauty has like no boundaries. I mean, still in my mind it does not have, but I want to feel that in reality, wherein no one is judging someone else
Yeah.
just for the sake of their.
Don't you think it will be a very, very beautiful world when people stop judging each other
Yeah.
in the society and just accept people for who they are?
It's a
Because
very-
acceptance of people around you makes you a better version of your own self. It is not about somebody else being better. I think the whole journey is about you yourself being a better version of what you are today. We should all aspire to be there.
Yeah.
You should all aspire to be beautiful.
From
है
within.
ना? From within, of course. Evolve as a person, that will definitely make you more and more beautiful day in, day out.
Yeah.
So what should we do? Should we end this podcast on that note that let us not judge each other, guys? We are only human beings. We are nobody to judge each other.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
In fact, recently, right, I was showing you that James Webb,
Yes.
the telescope, it has captured so many beautiful creations of the universe. And when you actually think about universe, this such a big vast thing that is around out there, and we are in our small little chindi bubble and thinking about judging each other.
So
Yeah.
we are
Cheapo,
insignificant, our life is insignificant. You never know when the light goes off.
Yeah.
So till the time you are there, till the time you are alive, let's enjoy, let's, as she said, not judge people around. Just be happy.
And just accept people for who they are.
Yeah.
Irrespective of their choices.
Yeah,
Because they are very, very personal choices.
That'll definitely make the world beautiful.
Yeah.
Absolutely. On that note.
On that note,
Yeah.
we end our second podcast and we all agree that beauty is beyond boundaries. Thank you everybody for connecting on this podcast today. We had a great time, didn't we, guys?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Discussing such topics which we don't get to talk about or share our views on. We'll be back with the third episode soon, and we have some very, very interesting topics in store. So watch out and stay tuned. Thank you very much.